Hello everyone and welcome to this Solutions Guide video to Worksheet Day 76, Polynomial Division using Long Division. I'm going to show you the solutions to the first four problems, and then I'll show you the answers to the last four. So let's see how this works out. Here's problem 1, 20x squared minus 13x plus 2 divided by 4x minus 1. Now to do this by long division, the first thing we need to do is write it as a long division problem. Now that it's written as a long division problem, we can do it using long division. How many times does 4x go into 20x squared? Well, it would take a 5x multiplied times 4x to make 20x squared. So that's what we'll multiply down. 5x times 4x makes 20x squared, so that term will go away completely. 5x also needs to be multiplied by the negative 1, and we'll get negative 5x. Now remember, this is what's being removed from the dividend. So we're going to change the signs before we draw the big subtraction bar. 20x squared minus 20x squared leaves us with nothing. Negative 13x combined with 5x leaves us with negative 8x. This 2 that's in the constants column is now ready to come down and be used. It was just hanging out up there before. And we're ready to come back up to the top. What times 4x would create that negative 8x to get this to go away? The answer there is negative 2. So negative 2 times 4x makes that negative 8x. That's going to make this go away. We also have to take the negative 2 times the negative 1 and wind up with positive 2. And we see that these match. When we change the signs before drawing the big subtraction bar, negative 8x and positive 8x cancels, 2 and negative 2 cancels. And that means the answer to number 1 is 5x minus 2 with no remainder. Problem 2. X squared minus 2x plus 3 divided by x minus 5. Once again, before we can do anything else, it needs to be written as a long division problem. Here we go. How many times does x go into x squared? Or more specifically, x times x makes x squared. That's what goes up here. X times x makes that x squared. But we can't just take the x times the x. We also have to take it times the negative 5. That makes negative 5x, which goes in the x column. Remember, we change the signs before we draw the big subtraction bar. Whoops, I missed the squared. So x squared minus x squared leaves us with nothing. Negative 2x and positive 5x leaves a total of 3x. Now we'll bring the 3 from the next column down because now we're ready for it. We're ready to come back up top and ask the question, what times x would create 3x? And the answer there is 3. 3 times x makes 3x. Don't forget the 3 times the negative 5 is also a deal. This time those don't match. Remember, we're going to change the signs before we draw the subtraction bar. 3x minus 3x cancels out. 3 and 15 makes a total of 18, and there's nothing else to bring down, nothing else that we can divide in, and that means that the 18 is a remainder. We'll write it up here as a remainder, only we're going to write it as the 18 that wanted to be divided by the original divisor, x minus 5. The solution to number 2 is x plus 3 with a remainder of 18 over x minus 5. And just for clarity, that means x minus 5 times x plus 3 plus 18 over x minus 5 would get you x squared minus 2x plus 3. Problem 3. This is a bigger one. And notice, if you tried this one and got an answer that doesn't match mine, it's probably because there's no x squared term written here, and there needs to be one for long division to work. First, let's write it as a long division problem. Notice that when I wrote it, I left a space here because there's no x squared term. And without an x squared term, when I go multiplying down and creating terms and etc., I'm going to create an x squared, but I wouldn't have any place for it. So I am leaving a place for the x squared terms here. And it'll be 0x squared in the original dividend because there's no x squareds there. Now we're ready to long divide. Something times x makes x to the 4th. That's x cubed. X cubed times x makes that x to the 4th. X cubed times negative 4 makes negative 4x cubed. Before we draw the big subtraction bar, we change the signs because we are taking away. X to the 4th minus x to the 4th goes away. Negative 3x cubed and positive 4x cubed leave a total of 1x cubed. we're ready for the next term, which remember doesn't actually exist, but I'm going to bring it down anyway just because I want to make sure everything's nice and clear. What times x makes x cubed? That one's pretty easy as well. It's x squared. X squared times x makes x cubed. And x squared times negative 4 makes negative 4x squared. Look, there was an x squared term I got to work with. Remember, we'll change the signs before we draw the big bar. X cubed minus x cubed leaves me with nothing. No x squareds and another 4x squareds leaves me with 4x squareds. Next term. What times x would give me 4x squared? That's going to be 4x. 4x times x makes 4x squared. 4x times negative 4 makes negative 16x. But remember, change the signs. Then draw the big bar. 4x squared minus 4x squared goes away. Negative 7x and 16x, I believe, leaves me with 9x. Next term. Finally, what times x gives me 9x? That's just going to be 9. 9 times x makes 9x. 9 times negative 4 makes negative 36, which remember I'm going to change the signs on before I draw the bar. 9x and 9x cancel out. Negative 14 and 36, I'm pretty sure leave me with positive 22. And that's going to be my remainder because there's nothing else to bring down, nothing else to divide in. So my remainder will be 22 over the original divisor, x minus 4. Last solution, and it's a smaller one. Let's see what happens. X squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by x plus 1. It is a long division problem, so it must be written as a long division problem. Here we go. What times x makes x squared? Once again, simple. That's just x. X times x makes x squared. But also, x times 1 makes 1x. That will go in the x column, and it will get its sign changed before we draw the big subtraction bar. These cancel. 5x and negative 1x makes 4x. And we're ready for the plus 6 term. Now we can use it as well. What times x makes 4x? I believe that's 4. 4 times x makes 4x. Cool. 4 times 1 makes 4. Remember, we're changing the signs before we subtract. 4x minus 4x leaves nothing. 6 minus 4 leaves 2. So we do have a remainder. So we're going to put that up here as 2 over the original divisor, x plus 1. Okay, now that I've shown you the solutions to the first 4 problems, there are 4 more, and you should try to do them on your own. Here's the first one, 7x squared minus 23x plus 6 divided by x minus 3. Solve this one. I hope you got the same solution I did, 7x minus 2. Next, 2x squared plus 3x minus 20 divided by x minus 2. Solve this one. The solution is 2x plus 7 plus a remainder of negative 6 over x minus 2. Next, number 7. Notice that there are a couple of missing terms. You should make placeholders for them. X to the 4th plus 6x cubed plus 6x squared divided by x plus 5. The solution is x cubed plus x squared plus x minus 5 with a remainder of 25 over x plus 5. Last question. 3x cubed minus 11x squared minus 56x minus 48 divided by 3x plus 4. The solution is x squared minus 5x minus 12 with no remainder. There was your solutions guide to worksheet day 76, polynomial division. As always, if you have any questions, holler.